Welcome back. I don't think I've properly introed what's going on right now. So last night I got that bird in Kansas and got him in the freezer now. And I stayed at a motel a little ways inside Nebraska. So I'm in Nebraska now. And as soon as I leave the hotel, within 5 miles, I see a turkey on the side of the road strutting. And it's a Merriam's. I check onX and there's game land or public land within 200 yards of the road. I bought my tags online, downloaded a map, got in here, and as you can see, there's not much to hide behind. So I'm on the edge of the huntable, non-huntable side. I parked my car and hit the box call, and I heard a gobble. So I ran down here, jumped in the cedars. I'm sitting here a while. I call, I get nothing, call, get nothing. So after, I don't know, 15 minutes or so after that first call and gobble, I crept up, trying to see, maybe I can see him. Maybe he's just over there strutting. But if he is, he's in the non-huntable side. And as I'm going up there, I see a head on the edge. And so obviously he didn't finish coming over. So I probably had him coming over and messed it up. But right now he's got a hen and he's in the non-huntable spot. So I'm going to look at him for a little bit, see if I can't figure out something. Well, I've been over there watching them, and I probably just need to leave. This is not a ideal place. Really awkward setup. If that joker would have come this way, that's a building right there and a silo over here. So he's over here, and I'm kind of in the corner of the hunting spot, so I really can't shoot that way anyway. I'd have to have them come all the way out here. Just not really a good setup. Really didn't expect to see any turkeys yet, because this does not look like turkey country at all. At all. But there's a hen and a tom over there. So I'm probably just going to get up and move, get back on the road, try to find some more spots. So I've been calling with this joker a good while. I haven't left yet. I should have left. He does not want to budge off of the non-hunting spot. By hunting spot is awkward. He has a hen, and I'm pretty sure that that was him that I spooked the one time. But he's just 150 yards away. So for all the reasons I mentioned before, and won't move, blah blah blah, I already spooked him. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Look for something else. So I burned up over 3 hours messing with that bird. And I was close to killing 2 birds in 2 states that are different subspecies in 18 hours, but I messed it up. So now I get to go try to find some more birds and get back on them. Well, this is a good start. I thought this very interesting. I was just about to make my first call back here, and one kicked off on the private land across the way. There's a body of water between us and him, though. I gave it a go for a while, but there was nothing doing except these whitetail. Well, we're moving spots. We're in a race against the sunset to get to this next piece of public, but we should be there in about a half an hour, and we've got about an hour and 15 minutes of legal time left. So I don't think I'll actually be hunting, but I've been seeing some turkeys along the highway here. So the idea would be to maybe see some turkeys that are on the private side that back up to the public side. All right, I got a gobble, but it was actually up toward the front of this place. I gotta see if I can maybe just get closer and get a better pinpoint on where this dude's at. Boy, he should be crystal clear from here. Dang it, he gobbled when I was in the middle of it. He ain't any louder here than he was back there. He's got to be in the tree. Right? 2. That one's not that far. You're going private like a mug. Of course he is. The far one might be on public. If not, he's close to it. I wonder if there's more than one down there, because sometimes he's a little louder than others. Crap. If I'm looking at this right, they're both on private. Daggone it. That far one's really getting it. He's getting it tonight. Good morning, folks. It is early and cold. It's says it's 39 degrees, and right now it's 4:24. Legal is at 5:10. I'm barely inside the mountain time zone, so everything's earlier. Of course, sunset's earlier as well. We're gonna make some coffee here. Some instant, of course. Not the greatest, but it'll help with morale. Won't make it great, but instant will make it good. I've been debating as to whether I should just go in cold where I did not hear any gobbles, or go mess with those private land birds. And I think I'm gonna mess with those private land birds. One of them's just got to sail down and cross a field. The other one's got to cross a field in a hedgerow, so no reason why they shouldn't. I'll make sure they hear me though. They'll know I'm over there. All right, we're out here. We've got some gobbles, but the wind is a little more than anticipated. Don't know if they're hearing me, which is a shame. We'll go up to the front here, hit this box call. Well, it was either coincidence or they heard me. I hit this call in what I'm calling the close ones. They're really not any closer than the other ones. Just went crazy, and there's 2 or 3 of them. This piece of land between us, this chunk of private, is shaped like a pie, so if I follow the fence line down to what I'm calling the far birds, it doesn't get me any closer. It just gets wider and wider. All that does is get me further from what I'm calling the close birds. I think I'm gonna maybe set up some decoys just to give them something to look at. Maybe put the decoys actually kind of just off to my side and maybe slightly behind me. All right, we're out of there. I can't see them through the binos. They must be further than I think they are. The wind must be carrying their calls, so I'm out. I'm going to where I should have probably just gone straight from the get-go. Make a big jump. So spend the next few days up there. I came upon this scene as I'm driving around just trying to get a little familiar with the area and the road system. This was very interesting for me to watch. It's 4 jakes and 2 longbeards. The 2 longbeards are really fighting it out. This wind is howling. This wind's got everybody's mood bad. Unfortunately, they're on private. I'm on the edge of public, right in the corner of public. Man, they are fighting crazy. It's like the one's riding the other. He's gonna kill him. These jakes have fought themselves into a down tree and they're just in there working it. Looks like they're trying to kill that one on the inside. And I apologize for the wind right here, but there's just nothing to do. It's a windy day in Nebraska. Trying to stay out of the wind here. So I'm sitting there watching those 2 toms fight. The big one pushes that other one off the hill, down in the valley, and keeps pushing them across. And the loser is starting to come uphill, and I'm on the corner of private and public. So I grab my gun, jump across this fence behind me, thinking maybe if he comes up this hill, he'll come up right here. Well, that's when somebody else drives right up, stops right where I think he's going to come up at, and starts watching the jakes who are fighting up there. So, yeah, I needed like 5 minutes of peace and quiet, and I didn't get it. So I don't know what happened to that bird, but dang, those jakes are still over there just fighting on that one pile. There's a few hens around over there. Can't make that junk up. Some weird circumstances were going to lead me to have a potential chance. And here somebody comes. Out in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska, here somebody comes. Awesome. It's been doing a light sprinkle. You see the clouds behind me, but I think it's over with. Tell you what, these hills are, they're big. They're definitely big, but I think their deal is that they're steep. Yeah, that's my up. So I'm going up high, look around. There's some potential areas back here sheltered from the wind with some relative flatness and greenness to it. Go check it out. I'm assuming somebody had good luck in the last year or two. Quite the vast expanse out here, that's for sure. As I was sitting there, a bunch of mule deer started filtering out, and it ended up being 11 of them jokers, with the straggler that's off to the left out of the screen that eventually worked its way in. So you should always kind of learn something from a recon, I think, whether that's where not to go or where to go. But in this case, I think this is where not to go. Though it is protected from the wind and green and lush and beautiful, and there's a few spots like this up in here. The problem is, I believe, in my opinion, that there's no legitimate roost trees. So they're certainly not going to start or end their day in this vicinity. They could pass through, maybe. There's also no shade on a hot day. I think what I need to do is write places like this off and concentrate where there are trees. Yeah. Folks, this spot over here looks a little better to me. Hopefully it looks good to the turkeys. Now, I don't mind telling you, I'm tired. It's been some short nights and some long days, early mornings. So kind of with this wind, those birds I saw before that were fighting, the hens and all, and once the fighting stopped, they were all down low. So that's what I'm kind of gonna do over here, is go low. There's a spot where two creeks connect into one, so maybe I'll just go down into that spot, hang out a while. Got some trail mix in my teeth. This is not terribly fun going through this junk downhill. Junk. Boy, I'm not sure how I do this to myself all the time, but daggone it. This is rough. Trying to follow this little billy goat trail on the edge. Just need to get to those pines, I think, and then I'm in the clear. Did I mention it was steep out here? Everything's steep. And this stuff in this cattle trail looks like turkey scratch. Well, I just bumped a hen. She flew up in these pine trees right here. She probably got her nest over there. That would be my assumption. I assume every single hen by itself is nesting. But it is that time of year. She didn't go far, so we'll just leave her be. I'm moving up this draw, this little drainage, and I'm finding good turkey scratch sign. The claw goes right through there. Got another hen right here. Definitely a Miriam's. So I heard a gobble over here in the vicinity of that rainbow. I'm wondering if he's a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow. But he could just be over that ridge up there. I only got about 45 minutes of legal time left though. See how low the sun is. It seems like a crime to let a gobbler go unmolested. Well, I went about 500 yards towards them and didn't get anything. Sat there a little while. Wind was howling. And it was cold. Miriams like to cover some ground. And they will climb these hills and leave you in the dust huffing and puffing. They must have some really good lungs and legs. Of course, the Easterns in Tennessee do too. I'll tell you that. So we shall see what we hear tonight. Gobble time's probably in 10 minutes. A turkey just roosted right here. Probably well inside 200 yards. But the creek that those two hens were in is right here. I mean, they were further down earlier, but I don't know where they came up in the last 90 minutes. Boy, I'd sure love to hear that thing gobble. First off, I'd like to apologize for the length of this video. It was a little bit long. There were some spots where the wind was pretty bad, but when Nebraska's windy, boy, just like Kansas, ain't nothing you can do about it. So this being my first time ever hunting in Nebraska, I'm just hitting spot after spot on my way to the final destination, or what I think's my final destination for turkey hunting. Hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down there, and as always, thanks for watching.